What's up, YouTube? This is Robin Nexus, and I'm here with
Chase Bender.
And you did what now?
So I got back-to-back top 8s at 2 case tournaments at AA Cards and Collectibles. The second one last weekend was actually top 4 as well, but the previous weekend we just split at top 8. So
Nice. And you were playing what?
Dragon Link for
Dragon Link.
both days.
Awesome.
The only changes were a few changes in the side deck between the events.
All right. If you want to get in the deck profile, let's see what you
Alright, so first card, 3 Lubellion. I've seen some lists play 2, but I say you have to play 3 of this card. 3 Sarnier as well, since we don't have 3 mag anymore. This is the next best thing. Then 1 of each of the others. I like this to have just more options, more utility, but a lot of lists I've seen play 2 Druisworm because it's just more solid. I like this as a mag search going first a lot of the times though. So that's it for the Bystial package. For the Rockets, 2 Tracer, 1 Recharger, Abs, and 3 Quick Launch. So again, just no caliber. You could play more. You could technically play Rocket Synchron as well, but I just want to reduce the amount of bricks after the ban list. We can't afford to be playing greedy anymore with the loss of the Magnamuts and the Chaos Bases. So that's it for our 2 primary engines. Now we have the Chaos package, 3 Safer, both the Baby Dragons, and Levianeer. And to pair with those, we have the Black Metal and the Red Eyes. So we play 6 normal summons total. These are really your best starters. This and the 1 Chaos base now. And again, I've thought about playing the Meteor package, which makes this much more of like a 1-card combo. But you have to play the Driver or some other vanilla, but it's almost always Driver. And again, like I said, it just introduces more bricks than we want to be drawing. So just trying to play as clean and consistent as possible. The last dragon is the Noctovision. So this is just good in general for chain blocking. And if you happen to draw Abzerauder plus Seyfried in the same hand, you just +5. Apart from that, this is probably the first card I would cut. Because we are playing 43, so it's possible you could cut this and maybe some of the non-engine and go to a clean 40, but I don't think it's necessary. Sort of the mandatory bricks of the deck, not these 2, but these 2 are sort of bad draws. This can be a bad draw, but there's no way you're cutting any of them from this deck. No Beast, because that one actually is a brick, and I do actually have it in the side, but Branded Beast. It's one of my favorite cards of this archetype, but I don't think we can afford to play it in this format. So for the non-engine, I have 3 Nib, 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, and 3 Imperm, 12 hand traps, the most generic, besides maybe this, but it applies in so many matchups in such a wide format. And with the 12 hand traps, it really makes siding patterns like super easily, because almost every matchup, half of these are all right, but you don't really care about them. You can side them out for the things that are more important, and you really don't have to shave down your engine that much, which we already tried to keep it tight. So
Okay. You said it was 43, correct?
43, yeah.
Okay.
So it could easily be cut a playset of hand traps and go to 40, but I think then you're too heavy on engine. So 43 seems pretty. 43 to 45 is what I've seen as standard this format, so try to play as minimal as possible with that standard in mind. Onto the extra deck, have the Striker Dragon, Pisty, Romulus, Seal. These are more or less obvious. If you've ever seen a dragon list, you've seen exactly this ratio. Maybe 1 more Seal, but with SP being released, there's really no space anymore for the second Seal, and it's also not so necessary. To finish off the dragons, Triple Burst and Borland. Again, we're playing the Rockets, so this card's crazy. There are other dragon lists going around right now that don't play Rockets, and so they don't play either of these. But the first 4 are mandatory. Onto our more generic package, we have IP and SP. So with this card coming out, or before this card, this used to be like optional and would rarely come up in Dragons, which was part of the reason you had more space for steel. This card made both of these mandatory in the extra deck, in my opinion. We also play Dark Charmer, Unicorn, Access Code, just no brainer, really. We like to kill in this deck. We usually have ways to push through a few interruptions, and I mean, this card can take SP, for example, or anything really, but SP just makes this card stronger. So that's it for the Link monsters. We play the one Hieratic Dragon, King of a Tomb. Honestly, this card's probably the most cuttable in this list. If you resolve this card, you win, but because of that, no one will ever let you resolve this card. So really, it only ever comes up for me if I have to bait something out. Or of course, if I know it's gonna resolve, it resolves and I win. But that's very, very rare. Apart from that, the two obvious synchros, you really have to play these. No real choice, just like the Dragon Link package. And then Baron as well. So this rarely comes up, just like the Atum. But I think this is a lot more of like a grind game card, whereas this is like super specific. So these are like the two I would say are actual flex spots in the extra deck, but this is a lot more utility than like this being for a very niche hand.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it for the extra. Like I said, those are the two flex spots, but everything else you cannot cut, in my opinion. Onto the side deck. So this is the side deck for the second weekend when I got top 4. We expected a lot of Labyrinth and Runic Stun, so I did side more heavy, like back row removal and stuff like that. And that's what this side deck is. But this is not the side deck I would go for like in general. It's just it was more of a meta call. So 3 Droll, that I think is almost mandatory, especially with the hand trap list in the main. This is like the best supplementary hand trap for like half of the decks. Last monster is Pankratops. Like I said, back row removal, very generic. I hate losing to TC in this deck, and this helps beat that card in multiple ways. So those are the monsters. We also play 2 talents. Maybe I'll say with the called by. These are sort of our generic going first cards. If we expect our opponents on hand traps, we put these in. Also this, obviously for the same reason, but this one, like you put in against shifter decks, you have to. And usually in general, people are siding Droll against dragons. This one, if you're just expecting shifter, you probably don't put it in, but even still. And also just generically good going second if some of your hand traps feel weak into the matchup. We also play the Duster and 3 evenly. So this is the back row removal package. Oh, as well as the Branded Beast. So, like I said, I side this card. It makes Lubellion much more powerful for the follow-up, much more powerful as utility, just to get a pop instead of a draw that may or may not be live or even matter. And also to replace the regain in a grind game. So this I really like in the side, but it's not mainable at this point in time. So sad. I used to love maining that card. The last 3 cards are 3 anti-spell. So on top of this, these are usually my 6 side-in cards going first, unless I have something more specific for the matchup. Kind of just a little bit toxic, but have to do what needs to be done sometimes. I can't tell you how many times I get shifted, I set this, and then it's it. I mean, they pass right back with setting 5 spells after they shifted me, so. That's honestly the main utility of the card, apart from just being powerful, but that's when it really matters, is a shifter out. So yeah, that's the whole list.
Okay. Any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to Javi for helping me build the deck, and just in general, all the boys here at Warehouse, like Joel, Juan, Brian. These guys are some of my best friends in the area. I only moved here recently, and yeah, like I said, they're some of my best friends here. I love this community.
Awesome. That's great. All right. This has been Chase with his Dragonlord deck profiles. More Nexus. I don't know.